So in this video, I want to share with you 3 places that we park our money to get the best bang for our buck and the most interest from our savings. So before we jump into it, guys, I want to share a little bit about with you guys. So I normally don't share with you guys where I put my money, where to put your money, or where we save our money, or the types of investments to make, because I am not a financial advisor and I don't want you to blindly follow me and just put your money in the same places that I put my money, because I think it's so important for you to know where you're putting your money and why you're putting your money in there. Because when I first got started learning about financial independence and creating wealth, I blindly followed a YouTuber and I put my money in the same places they put their money. Luckily, it worked out for me and it was not a mistake, but it could have been a huge mistake because I didn't know why I was putting my money there. I didn't understand enough about financial independence. I didn't understand about creating wealth. I just blindly followed somebody on social media. And I think it's so important for you not to follow anybody on YouTube or social media and just put your money in the same places they do. Now, if somebody mentions something that you find interesting or you want to learn more about, that's fine, but you need to make your own decisions. You need to do your due diligence. You need to understand why you're putting your money there, guys, because we all have different financial goals. So you need to know what you're doing with your money so that you can sleep better. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way and you know that I'm not a financial expert, I want to share with you guys where we've been putting our money. And make sure that you watch till the end, guys, because number 3 is my favorite place to put our money, especially since it is exempt from state taxes. So if this is your first time here, guys, my name is Susan Velez, and on this channel, we talk about making money, saving money, investing money, and just getting smarter with our finances, especially if you're trying to catch up for retirement and you're late to starting for saving for retirement like me. So the first place that we put our money is a high yield savings account. Anything that we are saving for a rainy day fund or an emergency fund or just short-term savings for like Christmas, birthdays, or anything that we know that we're going to have to pay eventually down the pipeline, we put inside of a emergency fund. And we've created buckets inside of our emergency fund so that we can create sinking funds and save for different expenses that we're going to have throughout the year. So that way, when the time comes, we don't have to worry about breaking our budget. We've already planned and saved for these expenses. So our favorite place for a high yield savings account is Goldman Sachs. However, there are tons of different high yield savings accounts that you can research online and that pay a decent interest rate. They pay a lot better than a traditional savings account or keeping your money in a credit union. If you have a savings account inside of a traditional bank or a credit union, and chances are you're losing money and you're not even able to beat inflation, because the traditional savings accounts and credit unions don't pay anything on savings accounts. So if you have a decent amount of money inside of a savings account, or you have an emergency fund inside of a traditional savings account, maybe it's time that you start researching and understanding how high yield savings accounts work, because high yield savings accounts pay a lot better interest than a traditional savings account. So do your due diligence, find out which one you want to go with, and make sure that they are FDIC insured, and find one that pays the best interest rate for your money, because you want to make sure that all your short-term savings accounts are earning the best bang for their buck. And it's not going to happen if you're inside of a traditional savings account. Number 2, guys, is a CD. So we just recently opened up a CD with Goldman Sachs. We did this before the interest rate on the high yield savings account dropped. So we managed to open up a CD with an interest rate of, I believe it was 5.5, a 12-month CD with Goldman Sachs. And we did that because we had more than enough inside of our high yield savings account or emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So we wanted to lock in a better interest rate for a year or 12-month CD, and we managed to get a pretty decent interest rate. And the reason we did this, because in case the high yield savings interest drops, we want to make sure that we've locked in our money in a better interest rate, at least for a year. Now, when the year's up, we don't know whether we'll roll that CD over into another CD or if we'll just put it back in a high yield savings account. It all just depends on what the interest rate is doing at the time when the CD matures. So the third place that we've put our money in, and guys, as I said, this is my favorite place. And this is also the newest place that we've finally opened up. And the reason it took us so long is because I had no clue what it was or how to get started. So the third place is T-bills. So I actually just bought my first T-bill in March. After doing some due diligence and some research, I felt comfortable enough to buy my first T-bill on the Treasury Direct website. And the reason that I chose the Treasury Direct website, guys, was because if you go through a brokerage account, you're going to need a bare minimum of $1,000 to invest in a Treasury Direct ETF fund. I didn't have $1,000 and I didn't feel comfortable investing in T-bills. So I wanted to get started with just $100, which is the bare minimum that you need in order to buy a T-bill off the Treasury Direct website. So I bought my first Treasury Direct T-bill last month, and it was a little bit different than a high yield savings account and a CD, because with a high yield savings account or a CD, you know the interest that you're getting the day that you open that account. With a T-bill, that's not the case. You're actually buying at an auction, and it's a little bit different than a CD or a high yield savings account. And I think that's one of the reasons that it took me so long to feel comfortable buying one. It is a little confusing and it did take me some time to understand it. And I still think that I don't completely understand it. But since the time of this recording, guys, I have bought 3 T-bills and I'm learning the process a little bit more. And the reason that I'm buying T-bills with my short-term money, not long-term money, guys, this is short-term money that I'm saving. And this is money that I'll have to use in the next year or two. And that's the reason that I don't have it in my long-term investment and investing in the stock market, because this is short-term money that I'll be using, and I don't want to pull money out too early from the stock market. And I've always read that if you have to use the money in 5 years or less, you don't want to invest it in the stock market. So that's the reason that I'm buying T-bills. And as I say, guys, it's my favorite way of investing. It is a little bit different, and it does require you to understand how a T-bill works. But the reason I chose a T-bill for this short-term savings is because unlike a CD or a high-yield savings account, you still do get a 1099 tax form at the end of the year, but you don't have to pay state taxes. It is exempt from state taxes. So you'll only have to pay federal taxes on the interest that you earn in a T-bill. And also, guys, unlike a high-yield savings account, a T-bill is not FDIC insured, but it is backed by the government. So it is a very secure way of saving, especially if you have a short-term savings. So if you live in an area with high state taxes and you're thinking about saving and you just don't want to pay state taxes, or you want another place to park your money that is free from state taxes, then I highly recommend a T-bill. And the best place to learn about T-bills, guys, is one of the places that I've learned, which is investopedia.com. Anyway, guys, those are the 3 places that we park our money. We park our money, our emergency fund, in a high yield savings account, and we use Goldman Sachs. And the reason that we use them is because, like in this video right here, guys, where I did my Goldman Sachs review, they were paying the highest interest at the time that I was looking for one. The second place we do it is a CD, was because we wanted to lock in our interest before the interest rates dropped. And they did end up dropping a little bit right after we opened up our CD. And then the newest place and my favorite place is T-bills, guys. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And let me know down in the comments below, guys, where do you park your money? Do you have any other places that you park your money to get the best bang for your buck? And if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Click on that subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever I put out a new video. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.